Welcome back, everybody. I'm just playing around with my same worksheet here. And again, mine is not quite complete. I'm not going through every detail in the text with you guys, but just some of it. So if yours is more complete than mine, then good for you. I just want to show you some more features here. And I'm just trying to break up the videos a little bit so that none of them are insanely long. So I'm going back to my data down below here on my sales report. And we did do our yearly totals. And there's another thing that's also very helpful too, and that's the average formula. So your book recommends also looking at maybe the store average as well. So I'm going to label this. And we're going to do it per store. So when we say the store average, we're looking at the monthly average there, right? Looking at what the average is for one store as we go through the year. So your average formula is going to just be equals, and then you can start typing average. And then you can go ahead and select. And once you have your column selected that you like, again, we just, your cells, I should say, just hit enter, and then you have that average there as well. Now, this is the store average. This is the title that your book recommends. I want to give it a better title and call it the monthly average, just to make that clear, because we have the yearly total next to it. And then I see average, and for me, I thought that was a little confusing. I think I could do better. So I'm going to say and label that instead as the store monthly average, so that I know what I'm looking at there and what average I'm referring to. And again, we can just go ahead and copy that average all the way down here. All right, you do want to make sure, again, click a couple different cells, make sure that it is working. Here, I am noticing that it does seem to be working. I don't really like my decimals though, so I think I'm going to highlight these. And I'm going to go ahead and have this be a more standard 2 decimal places. So I'm going to decrease my decimal places to 2. I selected all of the cells because I want them to be consistent. I don't want some to have decimal places and some not to. So I did select that whole group, and I just, again, tweaked my formatting a little bit there. I would like to have decimal places to 2 decimal places since we're dealing with money. So I went in and just made that change. I think your book is using whole numbers instead, which is fine. So again, you can kind of tweak it appropriately as you see fit for your project, for your business, whatever you're doing there as well. All right, so another thing I want to talk about here are cell styles. So in the last video, we talked about individual formatting, right? How you can change the color, you can change the fill, you can do borders, you can do all that great stuff. Excel does have some kind of predetermined formatting as well that you can go ahead and rely on. And that's here under cell styles. So for instance, if I go to home furnishings and I click on cell styles, I can see some kind of predetermined pieces here. If I open that up, oh, hang on, let me see. There we go. And you can play around here. So if I want, I could select this heading. Oh, I didn't click a cell. Let's click my home furnishing cell. And I have different things that they're suggesting. So for a heading, I could select this, right, as my heading, and it will update appropriately. So it fixes the color, the format, the size, the font, all of that to be whatever this particular style is. Or if I don't like that heading style, see how it's underlined in blue there, I could try something like this, right? And this one does not have it underlined. It did change the font and the size there as well. And you can kind of play around with this, right? Maybe I want, let's see, I don't really like that. Here I changed to green, so maybe I don't like the green. Maybe I would like to do something in gold, and I'm going to do accent 4. Or maybe I just want softer yellow, and I can do a percentage of that. So you can use Excel's predetermined styles as well to kind of help you find colors that go together or coordinate together already. So that's something that you can do too. We also talked about how on page layout, you can change color themes too. So I'm just using the Office's standard color theme, but if you want to change the overall color themes, you can do that and go through as well. But I'm just using the Office's standard color theme here and their standard, formatting styles as well. So the other thing you can do is you can also go in and really create your own style if you want. So maybe I'm here and I don't know, I kind of like this, but I don't really love it. So I'm going to change this instead to 14 instead. And maybe, let's see, what else do I want to do to it? I'm going to change the font color. Let's change the font color there to this, blue. Let's do this dark blue color here. I like that as well. And etc. I can tweak it. And what I can do is I can save this style. So maybe it's not one of Excel's formatted ones, but it's one that I'm like, oh, I really like this style. I want to use this over and over again. Well, what I can do is click on that cell and I can select new cell style. And then again, you could choose what's included here. So I'm just going to leave it everything that I have. I'm going to call this home furnishing style. And I'm going to hit OK. And then when I go back to my cell styles, if I did it right, up top under custom, you'll see the home furnishing style so that I'm able to go ahead and use that throughout this document. You're actually also able to use it in your other documents too. So if I were to open a new document, and let me share that with you guys for a second. Here's my new document. Now I do have both documents open at the same time. So like they're both on my computer. What I can do is go to cell styles here and I could say merge styles at the bottom. And I select the file that I want to bring it in from. So this is the file that I'm using that I also have open where I just created that new style. And then I hit OK. And when I go back to cell styles, it will be imported there. So I can actually go ahead and create a style that I like. I can save it in that original workbook, and then I can also bring it into other new workbooks as long as I have the original workbook open at the same time. So I can just import that right in and use that style over and over again. So that's a nice little feature there as well. I'm going to go back to my other screen. All right, so let's say I like this formatting. And I don't want to keep doing it over and over again, right? It's like, okay, what color did I use? Which row was that in, right? I don't want to keep doing it over and over again. What you could do as well is you could do the following is you actually can copy formats, not just data. So I know we've been copying formulas or copying data and things like that, but you actually can copy formatting as well. So let's say I want to select this piece right here. Under home, I see this little paintbrush. If I click that, you can now see that it's dotted around it. And I can go and select another part of the document that I would like to have similar formatting and select that and let go of my mouse and it copies, which is super awesome. So if I like the format I've done here, I can go ahead and select that and it will copy appropriately. Again, you're using similar structure, right? So that's why it would make sense. But I can copy that formatting. And the way I did that is, again, I highlighted what I liked. And then it's this little paintbrush right here. So that is Format Painter. So it doesn't copy the data in the cells, doesn't copy the formulas. It just copies the formatting that you used. So I can select that. And then again, select where I would like that formatting to be pasted. And it will paste that as well. So that's a really nice feature and time saver. I know for me, it's like you get one part of the document done. You're like, oh, I love that. And then it's like, I have no idea what color I used. I know you can find all those things, but it's a pain, right? You don't want to have to redo it all over again. So you can do it once and then hopefully use that same formatting to copy again later if you need to. There's also different ways to paste as well. So I'll let you guys kind of go through those, when we copy and paste things. So you can also right click. Let's see, I'm going to copy and then if I right click again and paste, you'll see paste special. So there's different things that you can paste, and it will give you a little preview of that. So are you pasting values? Are you pasting formulas? And so on. So formatting, etc. So there's different paste features as well. Again, that I encourage you to kind of look through by right clicking on that cell, and you can do it that way too. So there's one last thing I'd like to show you in this particular video, which is also a copy and paste feature. And I just opened up a new sheet here and just threw in some fake data. I have January, February, March, and maybe my sales were 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 or something like that. So again, I'm going to just copy this data, and I'm going to use the shortcut Control-C for right now just to copy. And when I go ahead and paste, there's actually some really interesting things I can do here. So I'm going to go ahead and actually select where I want to paste the data. So you could obviously just select it and go ahead and paste your data. And just, you can kind of get that preview. So this is just a straightforward paste, and I can do that. But maybe I want to transpose the data, meaning instead of having it go across in rows, I'd like it to go more in columns. You have that feature here too. And if you go through, you can kind of see that it will label what everything is doing for you. And this one here says transpose. If I click that, it actually will change my data from being, let's say, across this way to more vertical. So it will switch that orientation for you, again, which may be really helpful if you don't want to retype everything, right? If you have a lot of data and you decide at the end, oh, I would like to change the format of this, that's a really nice feature. And again, you also have the paste special feature as well, which allows you to have a little bit more control. So you can go in here and again, play around as well. So are you pasting everything? Is it just the formulas? Is it the formats, etc.? So are you doing an operation? Maybe you want to add the same number to everything, subtract, multiply, divide. You want to transpose it. Do you want to skip it, etc.? So again, lots of different paste features that you can look at and just try out at home.